Okay, I wanted to show off some things with a little admin dashboard that I've added to my company landing page. Particularly some things that I've been doing with the Chatbot widget. Okay, so just one thing that I just really want to point out before I even dive into this is these kind of dashboards up until real recently, like it never made sense to do anything like this because it takes so long to build that like even though you can do real cool stuff as an engineer, it just doesn't make good business sense. You usually end up advising people to just use off the shelf products, and they may not be exactly what you want, and they may have a ton of crap you don't care about. But like getting an engineer to design and build something like this was always just like way overkill. But now between Claude Code and Cursor, I can pop these things out in no time. Almost as quick as I can think of them, I can have these AI, as long as I know exactly what to tell them and I kind of guide them along the way and be prepared to go back and do a little bit of debugging. Like, this is, in most cases, I can just build these features faster than you can install a plugin or find some off the shelf product and install it or add it or configure it or whatever. So it's a real exciting time because I've always imagined what I could build immediately, and then it's so painful to go back and install some off the shelf product, but it just doesn't make business sense until now. So we got just real simple. And this is all local test data. I'll probably do a follow-up at some point once I've had this live for a little while so I can show the data. But you can imagine what your own site might look like if you're to implement something like this. This is leads, transcripts, and chats. Won't do too much on transcripts, although this is a really cool thing. It's just where I have a little interface where whenever I take a voice recording when I'm driving down the road or something and I've got an idea, I'll just talk and save a voice recording, and then it generates a transcript. And this gives me a way to, it works on, this is what it looks like on mobile. So I can just whip out my phone and go here and then paste the transcript here and it saves it. And then just long story short, this becomes part of an automation workflow that will process my transcripts into viable blog articles that I can publish on the site later on. So that's a work in progress. What I really wanted to talk about is, well, we'll talk about all this to some degree. Ultimately, what I want to talk about is chats, but leads is real simple. This is just when people fill out the lead capture form, it goes to a Supabase backend, and then they become part of an automation workflow that will nurture leads through a sales funnel. And then analytics has oh good, okay, so this is a pretty fresh database. I just deleted everything, so you can kind of see everything's empty now. So if we go to, okay, so I just landed on the website. So now that should become, a scroll depth. Okay, so this is just kind of showing you the visibility of different parts of the landing page. The hero just got seen, but nothing else has been seen. If I bounce now, then I know that people are bouncing. I know that this visitor bounced at the hero. So we don't really have any scroll depth yet because I haven't scrolled yet. So let's scroll a little bit. Let's go down and view about that. Let's see where that lands. So refresh. We got 25% scroll depth. They saw the hero, services, proof, about. So then keep scrolling some more. Yeah, we just barely got to about. Okay, so now you've seen my second lead capture call to action. So refresh. That was about the 75% mark, and we got all the way down to the contact form, but we haven't yet seen the FAQ. Keep scrolling. I mean, we kind of did, but it's not an exact science. So now we get to the bottom, and that was a full scroll. So you can imagine as different visitors come. Oh, and it saves a session too. So in page events, every one of these events gets logged in the database. Eventually, what I'll probably do is go back maybe monthly or something, or bi-weekly, and prepare a report, and then just archive this data so it doesn't get filled up. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how things go. But yeah, so this gives us a much more granular view of what's happening on the site. This gives us more visibility into what's actually being seen. So if we've got this really nice contact form down here that we expect to convert a lot, but they're not making it all the way down, we know that now. We have visibility. We know if that has visibility. So we know, do we need to bump it up further on the page? What do we need to do to make sure that people are seeing that? And then we've got some A/B testing too. I don't think I'm going to get into that just now, but this is one of the call to actions has variants that we show, and this is just where it gives you stats on which one's being seen and which one's being clicked on and actually converting, and then we can calculate conversion rate. But yeah, basically I just now that AI allows me to build things so much faster, like I could always do stuff like this, but like it was always time prohibitive, which means it's budget prohibitive, which means I can't even offer these things to people because they're going to ask how long it's going to take and how much it's going to cost. They're going to hear that and they're just going to be like, this doesn't seem worth it. We'll use something off the shelf. So when they do, fill out these forms, it logs a lead. And like I said, we can work that into an automation workflow for a sales funnel. But what I really wanted to talk about is chats. Okay. So I got this chatbot on my website, and it's really just a wrapper for GPT. Got a little bit of a prompt there that just kind of tells it, focus on information that we have on the blog. Essentially what it is a chatbot that helps you navigate my blog. If you want to find an article that I've written on a topic that you're interested in, you can find anything that I've got and it'll give you links. Okay. So I thought, that's valuable and that's interesting and I'm proud of it, but like it's kind of a missed opportunity because we have this call to action here, just super simple. Try to at least grab their email. And then, down at the bottom, we've got an option for like a larger form that will gather even more data if they're that committed and they have that level of intent. But like the chatbot is kind of a missed opportunity because what we can do is we can take this deterministic form and we can deliver it in a more conversational way with the power of the LLM that has it's basically got the context of all these fields, and actually this gives us the ability to have an even longer field because it's not all or a longer form because it's not all or nothing. It's every little piece of data that we grab, we log it, and then we associate it with that session ID so that we know that like when that person comes back, they give us more information. It goes with that session ID, and we build a more complete picture in order to target them in our sales funnel campaign. So I made it real easy. I mean, they can say whatever they want here, or there's some options if just anything to keep them moving. Let's say marketing and lead generation. So then it's going to get back with you and ask you more specific questions. We're gonna go ahead and say SEO this time. What industry are you in? Okay, so none of those. Let's say you're in HVAC. So it's just trying to keep the conversation going, and let's just say no. So now here's the point at which it tries to grab an actual email. And rather than just ask them to put their email in, I make it kind of look like the email capture form. So that's a conversion. We just got their email. So anyways, I'm not presenting this as the best marketing strategy, although I do think it's a pretty good start. The point here is that we are grabbing all of this data. So now under chats, we have a row. And when we expand this, we get the history of the whole conversation. And we can actually view in each step of the conversation where we grabbed what data. And all this data, okay, this is our page events data. This gives you like scroll depth so that we can have, those granular data on their behavior while scrolling. But we've also got chat sessions too. So now I've got all of this. We started a session ID, so when they return, we come back here. It's got tag data if it's part of like a Google campaign or something. If they've got that in the URL, we'll grab that while we're at it. This is just a simple demo. Extracted name. Okay, so we extracted SEO. That may not be very dependable, but we got their email. And then if they keep talking, we can get even more information. And some of these fields are for later usage. Like I really want to tie this into my leads table so that there's a clear association there. But we at least got the email and the whole message history. So yeah, this is really powerful because it tells me at what point they bounce in the conversation, And so, like I said, I'm going to deploy this, gather some data. This gives me visibility into, are people even clicking on the chat widget? Are they engaging it? If so, what are they saying? What kind of, can we leverage this as a more natural conversational delivery of what's actually a pretty deterministic, comprehensive form, contact form, lead capture form. And they don't have to, like I said, it's not all or nothing. They don't have to fill out the whole thing for me to get valuable data out of it. And if they return, we can pick up where we left off. But yeah, this, and then also like, it gives them enough play. It gives them enough flexibility to kind of try to take the conversation off the rails. And it'll steer them back into the funnel. But at the same time, I'm grabbing all these other topics because, we could do anything. We could do all kinds of things with this. This could be, it could make me think of different fields that we want to add and try to capture from other people. Or it might just give me ideas for blog articles. So, maybe we didn't convert in this conversation, but like I'm on their radar and I know the kind of things that they're interested in. And if somebody asks me a question that my bot doesn't have an answer for because I haven't blogged about it yet, well, maybe that is inspiration for a new blog article. So then next time I'm in the car talking to my phone, I'll record my thoughts on that. And then that can begin the automation workflow of publishing a blog article. And then that blog article might, if they search for it once, chances are they're going to search for that same topic again. And now suddenly, oh, that guy that I flaked out on, he's blogging about that now. So that brings them back into the funnel. So really cool stuff. I'd like to drill down into some other things here, but I think that's enough for now. So just thought people would think that was cool.